Hey, so you've caught me in the middle of a conversation with Nelly Tuikong. She is the passion and the vision behind Pauline Cosmetics. What I'm holding is my favorite brush from her collection. We'll get to that in a moment. Who's Pauline? Your name is Nelly.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Pauline is my mom's name.
Okay.
And I decided to, I was actually looking for names. I didn't think my name was cool enough to put on a label. But I kept, looking for different names, like, those things where you mash together names to come up with something cool.
No, please don't do that.
But I wanted something that was feminine, sounded feminine, and the logo would look feminine. And I kept coming back to my mother because I wanted something that had meaning for me.
Okay.
And my mom had gone to battle for us when we were young. There was a time where things got thick. I almost even quit high school, actually in Form 3. We couldn't make ends meet. I was tired of getting sent home for school fees, but she never relented, and she kept fighting for me and my siblings and the family at large.
Wow.
So this was for her. This was a way to honor my mother, and was a way to say thank you to my mother.
But let me just remind you again, you're from the back of beyond, somewhere in LD. So you got lipstick, and if I'm not wrong, you probably have a family of how many? 5, 6 shades more?
We have 12 shades.
Gosh.
Yes.
And then you've got the compacts. You got some of the most amazing brushes. Can we talk about your brushes?
Yes.
Because when you first sent me a pack, she sent me a pack like, hi, I think I like you, have something. And I remember I went through everything like every girl does when she gets, and then I came across this. This is a great powder brush and blending brush. I remember when you'd run out of them.
Yeah.
I was like, because I realized I liked it so much, I needed to have two in case I lost one. So I'm a proud owner of 2 of these. Tell me about the brushes. Because we can talk about lipstick until, the sun comes. No.
Okay. So the brush, I was actually, when I was building the business and all that kind of stuff, I was very busy, and I still needed to look put together. So I wanted to, make a product that will just do the job and not have to do a full face makeup, because sometimes nobody has time for that. So at that time, I was actually developing the compact powder. And I remember I went shopping somewhere, and I remember seeing, a brush that gave me an idea. So it gave me an idea to be like, what if the bristles of the brush is dense enough to where it's packed?
Yes.
So that it kind of...
When you go like this, it does a great job.
Yes. So it was more the design, and then we did go back and forth quite a bit with the manufacturers. The drawing, that's not full enough, that's not, So it was a lot of back and forth, but I knew exactly what I wanted to achieve with that brush. I wanted to use it. I didn't want to have, another foundation brush, though that is necessary, but I just wanted a one.
This has been disturbing me.
Yeah.
When I think about people like Bobby Brown, even Susie, they had some sort of stint in makeup and beauty. They did makeup backstage. They did shows. You were doing nothing. And then this. How?
It was crazy. Again, I didn't go looking for this. I wasn't looking for another, a business idea. I was just, it was out of frustration. The idea stuck, and I had to learn, and there was nothing. I remember going to the almighty internet and asking, I typed how to start a makeup brand. And back then there was no information. Literally the first thing that came up was how to write a business plan. I was like, okay, I'll keep you on the side for a second. The next thing was how to make lip gloss. And I was like, no, I want a blueprint. I want A, you do this, B, you do this. So there was really nothing.
Of course there's nothing.
And I had to learn. I had to figure it out step by step.
So when you dared to tell people what you were doing, what did you hear back?
I actually kept it under wraps for a while.
Okay.
Because it did sound like a crazy idea to me too.
From LD.
And I was also in the medical fraternity, because at that time I'd moved back, and I felt sort of like I was deceiving, my, healthcare fraternity. So I did keep it under wraps for a while. And then eventually I moved to Nairobi to start the business. And by that time, I remember my mom is still freaking out about this. She
What
still,
are you doing?
she still doesn't
What
get
do you
it.
sell?
Yeah, she still doesn't get it. But I figured, I'm just gonna do this, and then eventually maybe she'll get it, and maybe eventually everybody else will get it.
How old is Pauline Cosmetics?
3 years.
Oh my gosh, it's a baby.
It is. It feels like a lifetime.
No, I'll bet it does. Okay, so you go and ask the mighty internet, I want to know how to make a brand, da 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 da. Manufacturing is crazy. I am sure you die 1,000 times between the day you come up with a lipstick shade and the day it lands and you unpack the boxes. Tell me a few of the deaths you die. Because I'm sure you're like, it would not come out exactly the shade I thought it would be, and then you open it and you're like, it is.
Yeah.
So just tell me, what are those recurrent nightmares? The ones that
So the first time, remember, we are outsourcing manufacturing. So the first is making your payments to sometimes, you don't know where your money sometimes is going.
Yes.
And
you hope it lands.
And actually, I had my friend's account frozen by the IRS in the process of trying to make a payment. We did have one of the product. The samples came out fantastic. We went into mass production. I cried because the moment they got into the country, it was completely nothing.
Like the samples.
Nothing. And you can't take them back. So, yeah. I have died not 1,000 but 1,000,000 deaths. So every time you have your sample, you're going into mass production, you're like, oh my God, let everything come out the same way the sample did, because the samples are handmade. So
yes,
it's
but
easier.
when it goes through a machine,
right? You don't know if it's the same person who did it last time. You don't know the mood of the person who's handling the machines that day. So there's that part. And then there's the shipping part where you're praying and hoping that everything comes intact, because this is plastic packaging.
I know.
Lipstick is like this particular one. Lipstick is 50% wax in this particular brand.
It can melt.
It melts. So you're hoping that the temperatures are right and the gods are watching over the Indian Ocean. So there's no, and it doesn't matter how many times. Every time we go into production, I have this knot in my stomach. When we ran out of brushes and we were making the brushes.
And you told me there's a consignment coming.
The first time they got in, I took the old ones and the new one, and I was comparing everything, every single detail, to make sure that it's exactly the same. Because if the customer, I might be able to tell apart one small thing, but if the customer can tell the difference, I'm toast.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
It's nerve-wracking.
So we need to grab a glass of water, and then the next thing you're going to tell me is what you wish we all could try. What are your favorites?
Okay.
And then that story you told me about some people returning your product.
Oh, yeah.
Kenyans are special.
My peoples.
May karma visit you. And like I like to tell you, karma has no menu. You get served what you deserve. But back with Nelly. Nelly is the face, the passion, the drive behind Pauline Cosmetics. Yep, great.